I'm Josh Liston from On the Bubble Podcast, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual host. Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready, because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 321 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, July 22nd, 2018. And Willie, you heard that pre-roll, right? That's how an actual Australian accent works.
I was going to say something about that myself. I even said it in the pre-roll while I was going, I was like, that's an Australian accent.
Yes,
I need to take some notes.
So for those that are unaware, Willie tends to read our promo reads each week. And there was, 3-4 weeks back, he tried to read the Game Life Balance Australia promo read. And what he thought was an Australian accent. It was not.
Oi! Oi, you little bugger. Don't make me throw this boomerang at you.
I rest my case.
Oi! I can say more than oi part, Bachman. Oi! Haven't you been to Australia?
Twice.
So how I've been landlocked.
Your life sucks. Australia's pretty cool.
I can't argue that
You live in
point.
North Carolina. You've never been to the coast where the beaches are?
I mean, I've been to the coast, but I haven't gone in international waters.
Wink, wink. We know you have. Working those deals for I don't want to know what. Willie's like, I got these bootleg animes from China. I had to go out into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean to get them, though.
No,
why the Atlantic? I don't know.
No, you know what? I'm gonna come clean. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So I tell this to people I play Overwatch with that I'm 32 years old, and I was a fat kid. Not gonna lie, still am, but still, it doesn't matter. Perfect time for elementary school for that fucking movie to come out. You know what movie came out in the mid to early 90s?
Lots
They had
of
my
them.
name in it. They had my fucking name in it.
Free Willie?
You goddamn right. You know how many times I heard that as a kid? It's spelled differently, motherfuckers. His is spelled with a Y. Mine's spelled with an I-E. But you know what I started doing? I started going to international waters, and I've been kidnapping those fucking whales from SeaWorld. You think they give a fuck? You know, you saw that documentary. They don't give a fuck about those things. I've been selling its blubber on the free market.
So, like I was saying, welcome to episode 321 of the podcast. We're going to call it Free Willie.
You son of a bitch.
And we're going to spell it the right way.
The SDCC news this week is Free Willie.
I'm going to murder all of y'all. I hope you know this.
You heard that, Internet. You heard that.
I don't care. You think I care about my life? I just care about your life.
That's called premeditation. Your ass is going to jail now, sucker.
Now, Sailor Poland does bring up a good point, too. He said, try growing up heavy in the 80s. Do the truffle shuffle.
Oh, I got that too.
I didn't. When I was a heavy kid. Still am.
Speaking of the Goonies, though, segue. Keep your ears out for Our House Legends, the Goonies episode, because I am a special guest on it.
Ooh. Do we know when that's coming out? Probably in the next week or so?
I have no idea.
Well, stay tuned for here, because we'll let you know on All Things Good and Nerdy when Willie's appearance on Our House Legends hits the internets.
Part of the Gonna Geek Network.
Yes, you can find that over at GonnaGeek.com and click on the network button and see all the other shows that make up the network. GonnaGeek.com/network.
Chris, we make a good tag team.
And are we going to go win the tag team titles on Raw or something? Can we go and do that?
Can we wait for my back to heal first?
Probably a good idea, because I need to be able to tag you in from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, or I can just be your manager and you can just be at it at yourself. It'll be a handicap match.
You know, Willie, you'd be a pretty good Jimmy Hart and Mouth of the South kind of guy.
I don't know if I can grow a mullet back again. I had one at one time, an ironic mullet. I knew
it
it
was
had it
really
for a
ironic
joke.
when you wear it because you think it's high fashion.
No, I had it as a joke. But it was in high school. I thought I was being edgy.
Willie,
so
I grew up in
every
the
high school
South.
thinks they're edgy.
Mullets are not because people think they're being edgy in the South.
No, because I also was renouncing my southernness too at the time. I was a rebellious teenager like we all were.
Just while you had a mullet, you lost.
Ironic mullet. Fuck you.
Yeah,
that's gonna be the title of the episode. Fuck you.
No one with a mullet is allowed to say it was ironic. If you had a mullet, you lost.
Hey, I learned my lesson. I just grew out my hair all over.
Ew.
On my head, you son of a bitch.
That's not all over. You said all over. You
on
big
my
furry bastard.
Oh yeah, of course. Because I mean, fine. I'll repeat what I've said before. I can't shave down there because how weird would it be to just have a bald spot down there and hair everywhere around it?
Willie's a Sasquatch.
Willie,
yeah,
all I was thinking about is the times you come on and like bare your furry chest on here. I was not trying to go further south.
What do you want me to do? Shave that?
No, it was a mental picture and it made for an interesting segue. That's all. I don't want to know anything about your potty grooming habits.
Picture this.
I don't want to picture anything.
No, trust me.
I'm going to take you on an adventure here. Picture that Burt Reynolds picture where he's laying on the carpet thing, that furry rug, whatever the fuck it was.
Yes.
But just hairier and overweight. That's me.
That's
Willie,
not
I
sexy.
think you're just stupid.
And Burt Reynolds did it. That was sexy.
And so am I.
I have a bump for that, but I don't really want to hit it. I should do it. Willie, set it up again. Just talk about how you're sexy. That's all we need here, so I can hit this button.
Since we've been talking about wrestling, I'm a sexy boy.
So sensual. Oh, yeah.
Are you glad I still have that button there for you, Willie?
I was just going to say it myself, so you didn't have to hit a button.
Oh, dear Lord. Why?
I was going to save you the trouble, but you wanted to, so I was like, all right.
Well, guys, if you haven't dropped off the show already, you should know that what we do on this podcast normally is talk about geeky and nerdy things that have happened and give our opinions on whether that's good, bad, terrible, and whatnot. And there's probably some controversy coming this episode. Just a heads up.
Oh, yeah.
I have to ask, do either of you listen to the Dark Forest?
No.
I've been to a dark forest at night.
No, Dork Forest.
Oh.
Jackie Kashian, the comedian, has people come on and talk about whatever their dorkdom is. And it's gone from everything from like the Civil War to getting extra flights off your credit cards and accumulating points, like anything that people dork out about. They're allowed to come on there and talk about it, and she calls it a safe space. Like nobody gets made fun of no matter what their dorkdom is. And Willie reminded me with the sexy boy thing. One of the guys came on and his dorkdom was wrestling, and hearing a wrestling fan explain the career trajectory of Shawn Michaels to a non-wrestling fan is fucking hilarious. Because when you explain that it's him singing his own theme song, that he's a sexy boy, it is fucking weird as hell to hear someone who has no clue about wrestling hear that and interpret it and be like, what?
Hey, the 90s were a wild time for wrestling.
Yes, they were. And Shawn Michaels was great. But he's still a fucking weird character.
Great. I don't know. Do you not remember the Montreal Screwjob?
Yes, and I also remember his Missile WrestleMania. Like, Shawn Michaels is fucking fantastic. He's one of the 10 best wrestlers of all time.
Is there a certain person with the initials of HH also in those top 10?
HH or HHH?
No, just two H's.
Wait, two H's. Maybe.
Listen to me, brother.
He started the word promotion. You can't take fucking Hulk Hogan. He's the first pro wrestler to say, I want this theme song when I walk to the ring, and I'm going to sell T-shirts with my name on them.
Well, the bad thing
he literally invented promotion for wrestlers.
But you know what? He also
like
kind of
him or
ruined it
not,
a little bit.
Whether you like him or not, he invented the idea of promoting yourself as a wrestler.
I mean, he did great things, but he also ruined it a lot by having his own creative control. He had that in his clause and everything. Oh, you know what? I feel like I should win tonight, so I'm going to do that. So you're going to lose.
Yeah, well, he couldn't do that with Andre.
I mean, Andre was one of the eighth wonders of the world.
Andre did put him over, though. Don't forget.
Yeah,
that's part of the
Andre was also
while his body was busted beyond belief.
Yeah, and because Andre was good at his job.
If you haven't seen
that.
If you
Some of the old stars of wrestling, Andre was the one person who, if he didn't want you to win, it didn't matter what anybody said. No one could actually beat him physically.
And Andre had a farm where?
North Carolina.
You goddamn right.
You watched the same documentary I did on HBO, didn't you?
Was there a recent one or something?
Yeah,
'Cause
it
if
was
so,
a
I need to
recent
go look at it.
Bill
then.
Simmons, the guy who did a bunch of stuff on ESPN at one point in time, he's got a podcast network. He stood up. He was one of the brains behind the 30 for 30 series on ESPN. Did an Andre the Giant documentary that he produced on HBO, and it's really good.
No, I didn't know about it. I've always known about that, like since I was
Mhm.
like early 20s or something like that, maybe teens. I saw another documentary about him. Hey, a lot of great athletes come to North Carolina. I mean, where did Michael Jordan go to school at?
North Carolina.
UNC. He was a Tar Heel. What
Sure.
the fuck is a Tar Heel, though? We don't have any tar here, do we? I never understood that. Whatever.
I don't know. Before we move on to the news, though, we have a suggestion from the chat room. Draftsman says, Willie, I've had a full body wax. It's an intense experience. I say we start a Patreon and we get you waxed. It should only cost us $300, maybe $350 because of the density of the hair.
Kelly Clarkson.
Question. When you say full body, does that mean everywhere?
Body.
I mean,
Yeah.
so we're talking about spreading the ass cheeks and everything.
You missed his later comment where he goes, oh yeah, full body waxing. Imagine the scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
Now imagine someone tugging on your scrotum.
Which is why I yelled Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, God. I didn't even think about that. I just
Yeah.
went straight for the butthole.
That's
I
what
think
he
about his
does.
scrotum.
That's what Willie does all the time. You heard it here
Yep.
first.
Well,
Now,
and
hold on a
in 40-Year-Old
second.
Virgin, they went like this, and they went.
Now, I do have a question, though. This is a serious question. I'm not joking here. This is me being serious. You guys, I mean, I'm guessing you guys do this. Well, somebody has to. How do you shave your balls? Like, seriously? Like with a razor blade?
No.
I don't know how people, they say shave. I don't know what they mean because I was like, I don't know. How can you do that? Like, what?
You get a pair of clippers and you put a guide on it so that there's space between the blade and anything it could possibly touch.
But then how do you get like smooth? Just like a silk or saffron?
You don't go for smooth. You go for fucking trimmed and fucking managed.
Well, I've seen porno before.
Those
are some
dudes dip their
smooth
balls in air.
Really? Oh my God.
Oh, that sounds
Get
uncomfortable.
your hot nuts. Hot nuts here.
No, I don't know what the fuck they do. They might shave with a blade. If they do, they're fucking crazier than me. But no, I don't think any normal human would shave their nutsack with a blade. Yeesh.
Depends on
That's
how
no,
comfortable you
no.
are with your shaving skills. I would.
I was
imagine.
like, that was a serious question. I mean, I really
Or how tough your
want
nuts-
to know. I mean, I beat them daily.
And if you got a leathery ball bag, you might not be afraid of a Bic razor.
How did we get down this path?
Well, we started talking about Shawn Michaels, and then we moved on to Hulk Hogan, then we moved on to Andre the Giant, and then we
And then
moved on
Draft's
to...
been brought up full body waxing.
Yeah,
and
oh
you
yeah,
mentioned it-
you brought this upon
And you
yourself.
mentioned it from the chat room.
Yeah,
You
this is
could've
all on
gone
you,
right
Chris.
past it, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't look
I'm
at us
sorry.
like we're the bad guy here. We're not Razor Ramon.
I was just relaying the chat room's comments so we could have a conversation.
You got it.
Sailor Poland's also relaying to us how Arnold Voslow's experience from The Mummy about full body waxing. So, Willie, you should keep an eye on that. And
Wait. Which mummy?
the first one, he was the mummy.
Like
guy
the
that actually
original
played the
mummy,
mummy?
from the 40s
Oh, the
or
Brendan
50s.
Fraser. Brendan Fraser.
Brendan
Oh,
Fraser.
okay. Which one's? Oh, that's the bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big
Yeah.
tall dude.
Now hold on. Now you brought that up. I thought it was weird when I first shaved my head. I did not see this at all, but my aunt said, "You look like that guy from the Mummy." I was like, I don't think I do at all. You're crazy. But I like the compliment though. I feel like a beautiful boy.
Hey, Naki's in the chat room. She said, hey, it's Naki. Go get yourself a wax. Go full Brazilian and you'll have porno balls. That's how you do it, Willie.
Oh, apparently
They wax
if they
it.
do full Brazilian, you get porno balls. There
But
you go.
how? But I don't know. I mean, I like a good nut tug myself, but I
God.
don't know if I like it with wax.
Well, guys, this has been Nut Talk on the All Things Good Nerdy podcast. Let's please
Once
try
again,
to
Chris,
find some topics.
this
As
is
Willie said,
your
hot
fault,
nuts.
Chris.
Hot nuts. Get your hot nuts.
Well, I mean, that's the best joke you could do when someone say you put nair on your balls.
That was pretty good.
Thank you. I try.
Oh, dear Lord.
And I was quick with that too. I like it when I'm actually quick with some stuff.
I'm about to be quick with hitting the button and just transitioning to the next segment.
I
Chris,
wonder what's taking you so
you-
long.
Did this. And I think the new title of the show should be Hot Nuts.
No, the new show is Free Willy. The
Hot-
new title.
Hot
Free
nuts.
Willie, semicolon, hot nuts.
Thank you, Sailor Poland. I'll let Chris read it out.
We're talking about balls with a participant named Willie, he points out.
You're goddamn right.
And Willie, Draftsman did give you better instructions on how to properly manage the area of the body we were talking about.
I'll get you. I'm reading it.
You're reading it. So if you have any questions, just let them know in the chat room because we're going to transition on over to the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
That's some good advice.
So when we play this bump, it means we're transitioning into the news of the week, which means away from ball talk, hopefully. I'm sure we'll find our way back there somehow, though.
I don't know. Good old clearance rack over there is talking about anal bleaching.
You know, here's how we get off this topic. I make it so Willie can't read the chat room, and I say, Willie, what's your news this week?
Are you sure?
We're gonna start there.
Do you guys want to start with the controversy? All right, hold on. Do you want to start with the controversy or save it for the end? Because I think if we start with it, we can try and recover afterwards.
Let's try to
That's true.
recover because, yeah, I just found out this news. Was it yesterday or Friday? I found it because I found out two things I want to talk about this week on Friday, and one trumped the other. So, is that term Trump from Donald Trump?
No.
Okay, I never thought about it. Anyway, let's move on. So, James Gunn got fired from Disney for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because of tweets he did about a decade ago, in which case he already apologized back in 2012 for them, and they were also deleted as well.
Many of them were, yes. I don't know if they all were.
Yeah. So he's fired for this, for stuff he already apologized for, and Disney already knew when they first hired him.
Fired from directing a movie he's already writing.
Yeah, is he still get to writing?
Well, they're supposed to start
his
filming
script?
soon, so I
Yeah,
assume
allegedly they're still using his script. From what I read, he only got fired as the director.
So it's kind of like an Ant-Man situation, but less controversy. All right, more controversy than what I mean. Ant-Man had less
controversy.
Yeah. Well, I meant like the Ant-Man didn't have any. There was some, but not much. Yeah, these tweets. I mean, I will admit they are pretty bad. But once again, they are just jokes. He said he joked about. Let's just say what it is: child molestation, rape, things like that. Is anyone claiming he does these things? No.
Well, some people are claiming that he does with no evidence.
Yeah, well, there's always a handful of idiots online.
Yeah. I don't see anyone coming out saying he did this to me.
No, there have been no accusations whatsoever of James Gunn ever doing anything like this. It's literally just his tweets that were brought back up.
Now, are these jokes in bad taste? Yes, my jokes are in bad taste too. But I swear to God, if anyone tries to come at me about my jokes from 10 years ago, I was a stupid fucking kid 10 years ago. And let's not forget that Disney knew where he came from. Where did James Gunn get his start? Bachman, you can help me out with this.
Troma.
Exactly. Troma's not known for their high classness.
Troma is known for offending people. It's a film studio that literally has made budgets off the fact that they found that a film was offensive enough to bring in an audience.
Let me see.
You guys, I think you read Sailor Poland's mind because as he was talking about it, he said, point of order, Gunn worked for Troma at the time. Their whole shtick is being offensive. He was just doing what he did.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know where the movie is. I actually have Toxic Avenger, the cover of it. The cover of the DVD case says it includes the infamous head-crushing scene. Now, I'm not sure exactly which one they're talking about because there's two of them in there that I'm like, this could go either one. There's one dealing with a little kid, and there's one dealing with someone on a workout equipment. So I'm not sure which one.
The kid one was taken out of not like the theatrical release. I don't think it ever hit theaters, but like when you saw it on like USA Up All Night, the kid skull crushing wasn't in it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was removed from the original release of the film.
Oh, that was a rough one too. Yeah, that whole movie's like, what the hell am I watching? But it's in a good way. If you have my sense of humor, and I'm Bachman's sense of humor.
Yeah, there's a reason Troma isn't a giant studio, but there's also a reason that they're still around.
Yeah, because people like them, and they don't want to go mainstream with it. Because I mean, they want to keep doing what they're doing. If they go mainstream, they're gonna have to censor a lot of their shit out.
Yep. and they don't believe in that shit.
Yeah, just kind of like Gore.
Now, what's his name that runs it? Kaufman. Isn't it Kaufman?
Lloyd Kaufman.
Lloyd Kaufman. Yeah, he does what he does exactly how he does it, and it's never changed.
And he also had a guest star in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
Yep, and he brings people on board, and they become like family, and he makes weird ass fucked up movies as cheap as he can and puts them out there, and that's what he's done for like 50 years.
And didn't he write Tromeo and Juliet?
Yeah, I think that was the last one he wrote for Troma before he wrote Dawn of the Dead, which kind of got him bumped up in Hollywood.
Oh, he wrote Dawn of the Dead, the
Zack Snyder one. That was written by James Gunn.
That was a good movie. That was a good Zack Snyder movie.
It's the only zombie film that George Romero said was a good remake. If George Romero says your remake of his film is good, that's a good fucking movie.
George Romero's is a wrong motherfucker, because Return of the Living Dead is an excellent zombie movie.
Well, he said Dawn of the Dead was the one he said he really liked that one. So Zack Snyder and James Gunn did a damn fine job at that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite remake of all time.
Now, Chris, what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
My thoughts on it? So I talked about it a little bit on Twitter, actually, and I think I talked about it on some group chats with folks. The thing is, this isn't new. He apologized for it, 6 years ago? Disney knew about them before he even did Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's not like this.
And I had a question on this, too, because I saw an article where someone was saying that the apology in 2012 was apologies he made for a blog post that had some of this jokes in it, but it wasn't specifically apologizing for these Twitter jokes. I don't know if that's true or not. That's something I saw on Twitter, so I don't know if that was real or not.
So the articles I read just said he apologized for it back in 2012. They didn't mention what. So
yeah, I don't know.
As far as I know.
And his apology might have been trying to cover all of it. Might have been saying, hey, I made these jokes at that time, and I was a different person, and I'm a better person now.
Go ahead, Chris.
I lost my train of thought on that. So it's not like this is not new. This is not unheard of. He's talked about it before. He's apologized in public for these kind of things before. He said it was a result of a different time. He's grown up and he's changed over that. I've got up here his statement he released after he was fired, and we can talk about that as we wrap up this story to kind of button it up. And he's fairly understanding. He talks about how he's grown as a person. Everyone who's worked on films with him, especially Dave Bautista, has come out and said basically this is not who James is anymore. He might have been that back in this day, but he's a very different person. He's grown and he's evolved. And we're getting to a point now, and we've seen it with some things, where statements you may have made in the past, attempts at humor, because does anyone here really think James Gunn's a pedophile? Let's be honest. I don't think anyone here does.
I don't know him personally, but I don't get a pedophile feeling from him.
Right. It's attempts at humor. It's for lack of a better term, shock jockey kind of humor. And let me compare.
Like me.
Yeah. The difference is he's not a comedian, so it gets looked at under a different lens. Have you guys heard of Anthony Jeselnik, the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go and read some of Anthony Jeselnik's jokes he's put on Twitter. Go and watch his stand-up. It's very dark. It's very much along these lines. He's a very dark comic. And I enjoy it at times, but I can't watch it all the time because sometimes I'm like, man, that's just it's too much. I got to walk away. And
Jeselnik doesn't believe in the words too soon.
Yes, that's 100% true. Someone was actually talking about things. Jeselnik came in on Twitter. A bunch of people had quoted a bunch of his jokes and said, oh, this guy's going to be next. And he goes, scrolling through my timeline for offensive tweets is like looking for a needle in a needle store on Customer Appreciation Day. He owns the fact that he says ridiculous stuff. So what are some examples of things that Anthony Jeselnik has said? I don't know if I want to read some of these ones. Okay,
Why are you looking
so here's an example of one. And this is a
make
dark
sure you put them in quotes. This is not Chris saying this.
This is not me saying it. This is an Anthony Jeselnik tweet
be good.
that he put on here.
Oh, some of them are bad.
Some of them are really bad. He said, quote, John Benet Ramsey would have been 23 years old today if she hadn't been so pretty. It's a dark joke. It's a dirty joke.
Holy shit.
Yes, but this is the kind of stuff he does. It's that dark, twisted, it makes fun of tropes that are very uncomfortable. Where's another one? I used to have sex with my teachers in exchange for good grades on teacher evaluations. Another joke.
That one's kind of a mess.
They're not all winners.
I know. I mean, not only is Dave Bautista coming out for him, so is Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt, and the same people that went after James Gunn are now going after Patton Oswalt and a few other folks. And the ironic thing is, and I don't want to give these people any more name dropping, anything like that. You go and look at the main spearheader's background. He said
That's what I
some
was
pretty
gonna
terrible
ask.
things.
I
Been
want to ask
charged
something.
with rape, if I
Who
recall
was it
correctly.
that found this and put it on Twitter? What was his name? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say his name, but he's on my Twitter timeline because I have his name and the word is piece of shit after it. So.
Well, I think what I read about him is so James Gunn's making these jokes, but that guy, he was actually accused of rape in 2003.
If I recall correctly. I
Yeah.
have not educated myself fully on it because that's a part of the internet that I don't care to know much about.
Yeah, so that's the kind of person going after him. Someone who already has skeletons in his closet trying to find skeletons in other people's closets.
So
Yeah, and Senator Poland brought it up in the chat room. Point of order, the pedo thing came because he responded to a post 9 years ago from a guy who a few months ago was convicted for kiddie porn. James Gunn was literally aiming this at somebody. They were just awful, bad, offensive jokes, but he's not a comedian, so now they're being taken out of context and people are saying like this is, statements he made. And yeah, the guy and the reason and the mess up thing is that it's not like Disney was offended. Disney wasn't offended at all. Like Chris said, they knew about this going in when they hired him. All this was old news. James Gunn is an outspoken opponent of Trump and his entire administration. This douchebag that's been on Fox a bunch of times is the one who found all these tweets and brought them back up and basically threw them at Disney and said, James Gunn is awful. Why is he still working for you?
well, and
point of order,
Because they
he
want to
probably-
cover their ass.
He probably didn't find him. He probably hired an intern to look
Yes.
for him.
Yeah,
People
which
found
is why
them
you
in-
also see that they're marked with archives.
people found them and got them to him. There was a big effort to try and basically blow up Disney's timeline with them, to take them to Comic-Con to try and cause an issue because for the most part, from what I can tell from reading, is that they did not care for the fact that James Gunn is a vocal opponent of many of the things that are going on today in United States politics and government. And James Gunn was very vocal about his distaste for those things. So in their mind, that he painted a target on himself and they went after him.
Now, I can appreciate that freedom of speech is in this country. The only problem with it, or not a problem with it, but the only thing with it is it protects you from the government. It doesn't protect you from anybody else.
Yes.
It doesn't protect you from consequences. Anybody
Yeah.
can say anything they want, but you have to deal with the repercussions of it.
And
But
if
the
you-
idea that the Disney company, Brer Rabbit and Tar Baby are now offended because of pedo jokes from 10 years ago, I don't want to hear it from fucking Disney. This is the company that did Song of the South.
Look, this
And now they're going to act like they're offended?
the matter of this is Disney didn't want to have to deal with the controversy right now. That's what it was. And I tend to agree. Part of what Sailor Pone had a comment in there, and we'll go back and read it here in a second, where he's basically the scapegoat so that it calms things down. There's not a target on him right now. What do you say here? Sailor Pone says, "This is the closest I will get to politics here. Gunn was a Judas goat, with the DOJ appealing to AT&T buying Warner. Disney wants to make sure nothing stops their Fox acquisition. So he sacrificed on the gears of big business. Once it's over, Gunn will be back." It's an interesting theory. That could be part of what it is. It could be Disney doesn't want to have to deal with the PR on this right now. So they pretty much just said, look, we can't deal with this right now. We realize that we've been made aware of it. We knew about it in the past. We had a working relationship. We just don't want to do it. And that's what happened there. I don't know what's going on. The interesting thing will be to see what they do with Guardians 3, what they do with Phase 4 of the MCU, because he's supposed to be very linked to the creation of a lot of the Phase 4 stuff. It changes the plans they might have. And this isn't the first time Marvel's had to change plans based off of things falling through. But I think their immediate thing is figuring out who is going to come in and direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The script is probably mostly done. The story is probably mostly done because James Gunn had been working on it. But who comes in to direct that movie? Because the rumor had been it's supposed to be like early 2020 that movie drops. They should be filming within the next month or two, I would think. Who's doing the
it's gonna
movie?
be a year of post-production at least because it's a Guardians movie.
Right. I mean, there's a fan movement. At first I was on board with, and now I'm not 100%. They're like, oh, bring in Taika Waititi to do it. And I went, at first it's like, oh, that could be awesome because I really enjoy Thor Ragnarok. But the thing is, Thor Ragnarok is not much of an ensemble movie. It's a Thor movie. Thor is the main point of view on that one. So I'm not saying Taika couldn't do it because I love What We Do in the Shadows, and that's an ensemble movie and things like that. It's just, you can't take Thor Ragnarok, the formula that worked with that, and translate it over to Guardians. It's very Guardians-esque in feeling at times, but it doesn't mean that same feeling would work for that movie. So while I think Taika Waititi could be a good choice for it, I'm not sure they're going to go that path. In the chat room, Sailor Poland says the only one I can think of who can do both serious and comedy is David Zucker. I don't know. Marvel's going to have to figure something out because Guardians of the Galaxy, despite early original thoughts, became a cash cow. It became wildly successful, in part because of the dynamic that James Gunn built between himself, the actors, and the story that he wrote. Sailor Poland also suggests the Russo brothers could do a good job with the Guardians.
Yeah, people forget James Gunn took like a group of 4th or 5th tier characters and has made 1.5 billion for Disney with characters that nobody gave a shit about before that first Guardians trailer, and 99% of the world didn't even know about. You couldn't have asked an average person on the street who Star-Lord was prior to that first Guardians trailer and got an answer.
And now you say the words Chris Pratt, and the first thing a lot of people think is Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Versus Andy from The Office. It's an uncomfortable situation. Sorry?
Zucker's the one that did Airplane, Naked Gun 2.5, and some of the scary movies.
That could be interesting, then. I don't know what they're going to go with. Let's be honest, though. Marvel has done a pretty good job when it comes to picking directors as of late. So they'll figure something out. They can't afford to let it fail, so they're going to have to figure something out.
So you know what? Since this whole came out, I'm going to try to offend Disney each and every week now until this gets rectified. So let me do some jokes here.
We will not be getting acquired by Disney, is what Willie is saying.
That's okay. Right. Just picture this: Mickey Mouse doing his little whistle.
Oh no!
Going to the kitchen, reaching into a cabinet, grabbing a jar, something, closing it back, going back to the living room, sitting down, going, "Hey, Pluto, come here!" And he grabs the jar, undoes it, and spreads that peanut butter on his mouth.
No, stop now.
Pluto just licking it up.
Stop.
And Mickey Mouse is just jerking it like the seven winds of the ocean.
Stop.
Willie, I think you're just stupid.
That's okay, because fuck you, Disney.
All right, John Drew, if you ever had the idea that Gonna Geek was going to get picked up by Disney, sorry.
So I understand the spirit of what you're saying there, but I don't even know where to go from here.
He can't stop picturing it. And the fact that Willie does a Mickey Mouse voice makes it so much worse.
That's his best impersonation I think I've heard on here.
It might be.
Let me do Mickey Mouse with an Australian accent.
Oi!
So the simple fact of the matter is, it's a really uncomfortable situation. Everyone who's involved, I feel bad for them for trying to figure out how it all fits together. The actors, even Dave Bautista is obviously upset about it. It's not like he can walk, though, because he's in the middle of a contract. So it's going to be uncomfortable.
I thought he was in a wheelchair.
No.
Oh, God, you scared me there for a second.
My apologies.
No, that's when he left wrestling.
For clarity. So it's not like you're going to have a bunch of actors that are going to be walking out in protest because James Gunn is gone, because they're under contract to do movies. So it's going to be, they're going to have to come together. They're going to have to figure out what the plan is going forward, and they're going to have to do it because, like I was saying earlier, Guardians is a cash cow of the MCU now. And I tend to trust that they'll do all right with it, but that's mostly because James Gunn already wrote the damn script. He already wrote most of the story, is my understanding. So
I just wondered, they hire no-name director so-and-so that nobody knows or cares about, and then James Gunn's on set as the script supervisor and just runs the whole fucking shoot anyways.
So there's a Reddit thread. I think it's in either the Marvel Studios, the Marvel Cinematic Universe subreddit that I'm in, where a lot of people had that theory of, well, maybe James Gunn would just go and take an uncredited part in there and just sit on set and help with things or things like that. And I don't know what they're going to do. It could very well be that the hubbub dies down here in a little bit and they bring him back. I mean, everyone, one of the first things they do now is when something happens they don't like, they complain about it on Twitter, and then they go and make a petition on change.org saying, we want you to reverse this. And in 16 hours, there's 50,000 signatures up there for Disney to rehire James Gunn to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now, the most important question here that I'm getting from this is, are we going to keep one of the best characters on Guardians of the Galaxy, played by Sean Gunn?
Kraglin?
Yep. Are we going to keep him?
Oh,
is he going to stay?
He's also Rocket on set.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Are we going to be able to keep him though?
There's been no mention that he was leaving. He did put out, what was it, a 10-tweet set of things in support of his brother, talking about how his brother's changed as a person over time and things like that. So there's too many unknowns right now. We don't know.
It doesn't matter who tweets what, because Mickey's over there just jerking his
stop.
Stop.
That doesn't help us have an intelligent conversation on things right now.
What I want to say,
intelligence and Willie don't go together.
That's
Fair
true.
point.
Contract or not, if Dave Bautista says, you know what, I'm out, I would like to see Disney try to make him show up and be in that movie.
Oh, they're just gonna say he's been still this whole time. He's in the movie. He's just standing.
He's just invisible. You can't see him.
He's just invisible. Because yeah, all the rest of them are really actors. Dave Bautista is an ex-bouncer, ex-pro wrestler. If he gets pissed off enough, he might just tell Disney to go fuck themselves. I wouldn't put it past him. Like,
I can always go back to the WWF. I'm sorry,
They got the F out.
He's a bigger name now. I bet Vince would happily bring him back.
It's possible.
Oh, yeah.
So let's
Like The
start
Rock.
to wrap up this story
Yeah.
here. I did mention we would talk about the statement that James Gunn put out after being fired. So I believe this is most of it I'm getting from IndieWire.com. I apologize if I miss a couple pieces of it because they have it split across multiple paragraphs. But he said, my words of nearly a decade ago were at the time totally failed in unfortunate efforts to be provocative. I have regretted them for many years since, not just because they were stupid, not at all funny, wildly insensitive, and certainly not provocative like I had hoped, but also because they don't reflect the person I am today or have been for some time. Regardless of how much time has passed, I understand and accept the business decision taken today. Even these many years later, I take full responsibility for the way I conducted myself then. All I can do, beyond offering my sincere and heartfelt regret, is to be the best human being I can be, accepting, understanding, and committed to equality, and far more thoughtful about my public statements and obligations to our public discourse. To everyone inside my industry and beyond, I offer my deepest apologies. Love to all. I think that's a pretty good statement saying that, yes, I said it. Yes, I feel bad for it. Yes, I accept the consequences, and that I understand why they're doing it.
You're even better than Minnie, huh? And don't tell Donald, but you're even better than Daisy.
We ended this on a very positive note with James Gunn describing everything.
Oh yeah, I did it positively. You were very correct in that. Don't finish that sentence. I don't care at this point.
Don't care about what? Being positive, or I'm confused.
I appreciate you trying. I do. You are an inspiration to me, and I'm sorry I'm a fuck up.
You're not a fuck up.
But I just can't help myself.
Fair enough.
Now, see, then that's not a real apology.
No, I apologize that I can't help myself. I want to not be able to do it, but I just can't. I'm sorry. So it is an apology.
No,
I want to not.
You have to acknowledge, apologize, and then promise to try to be better going forward. You're not promised to try to be better. You're saying you can't control yourself, so that's not a real apology.
I'm sorry. You're adding stipulations to this whole thing.
You should listen to more Dan Harmon when he talks about apologizing. He got the rules laid down to him by his psychiatrist.
When I start making Dan Harmon money, then yeah, I'll start acting like him.
Fair
Fair
point.
enough.
So, guys, that's
Fair
going to wrap
enough.
up our conversation about the James Gunn incident that has come up. I'm sure we'll be talking about it again in future weeks as it further evolves, as we figure out who's going to be involved in Guardians 3 and things like that. So don't imagine that this is the end of this conversation. It's just...
No, I'm going to be coming up with more jokes as the weeks go on, too.
Oh, boy, I can't wait.
Oh, boy!
All right, Anthony, why don't you tell us what your news is this week?
We got some actual comic book news. The only real comic book news out of San Diego Comic Con, the world's biggest media con. They held the Eisners on Friday night. For those that don't know, the Eisners are like the Academy Awards for comics. So it is basically the biggest award you can get your name on if you work in the comics industry. And they had a first. Marjorie Liu became the first woman to ever win the Best Writer Eisner at the 2018 ceremony held Friday night. For Liu created Monstrous, a fantasy tale about race, class, slavery, and giant tentacle monsters with Sana Takita on art. It's a Top Cow book that's gorgeous. I picked up the trade. I haven't started reading it yet, but it's just a great looking book. But yeah, so Marjorie Liu became the first woman ever to win that one. They had a couple of big shockers, couple of standard things. Tom King also won for writer for Batman and Mr. Miracle and the Batman Elmer Fudd special. Apparently they did a crossover.
I'm sorry, wait, repeat that last one?
Yeah, Batman Elmer Fudd special. And then
is it
Mr.
Bat
Miracle
season?
It might be. Mr. Miracle also gave penciler inker Mitch Gerards his first Eisner, which is awesome because Mitch Gerards has been just kicking ass on so many books for a long time. It's ridiculous he didn't have one yet. My favorite thing is Monsters. Had a great debut from Fantastic Graphics. They gave Emil Ferris, the writer and artist of it, got 3 Eisners for the one book: Best New Graphic Album, Best Writer/Artist, and Best Coloring. So that's impressive as hell. Like coming out the gate and winning 3 Eisners. See, what were the other big ones? A lot of people were a little shocked. Best New Series was Black Bolt by Saladin Ahmed and Christian Ward from Marvel. Best Limited Series was Black Panther: World of Wakanda by Roxane Gay, Ta-Nehisi Coates, and Aletha E. Martinez. Best Single One Shot was Hellboy: Krampusnacht by Mike Mignola and Adam Hughes. Let's see. Yeah, Best Continuing Series was Monstrous by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. There was a couple of other really cool ones. What was the other one I remember? Oh, Best Archival Collection and Project. I don't think anybody was shocked by this. Was Akira, because they released the 35th anniversary edition of Akira, so it won the Best Collection. Yeah, Best Writer, Tom King and Marjorie Liu. Best Penciler Inker or Penciler Inker Team, Mitch Gerards. Best Painter Multimedia Artist was Sana Takeda from Monstrous, the same book that Marjorie Liu won for. Best Cover Artist, Sana Takeda from Monstrous. So, yeah, it looks like Sana Takeda got at least 2 Eisners. Best Lettering was Stan Sakai from Usagi Yojimbo, which, yeah, is still going. Like, that rabbit's still out there kicking ass all these years later. Like, that dude just doesn't stop.
He's been out there forever. That's
yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, if you want to go look, Gonna Geek and a couple other websites already have the full list up of everybody that won. But yeah, it's a big thing because yeah, it's one of those things where literally as soon as people win them, like they go and change their Twitter profile to become Eisner nominated, Eisner award winning, stuff like that. For those that don't know, Joelle Jones was Eisner nominated for her own book, Lady Killers, I think 2 years ago. And
the Tom Hanks movie?
No.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Her book's better than that movie, way better.
Fair enough. I mean, it had Marlon Wayans in it.
It's a book about an assassin that Joelle Jones wrote and drew. And now 2 years after that, she got announced this year. She is now the writer-artist on the new Catwoman book coming out from DC. So, like, she got a hell of a bump up in the industry. And that's usually what happens after somebody wins an Eisner. Like, they get, much more higher profile gigs. So, yeah, if you want to go look at the list, they're out there. But, yeah, lots of award winners for 2018. Lots of really good books are recognized. So, congrats to all those people. Was another good Eisners.
That's about the only comic news we got out of SDCC.
Yeah,
it sounds like
Batman Elmer Fudd. Well, there was one. The problem I saw a lot of complaining on Twitter. There's been a lot of half-ass comic news. Marvel announced 3, I think, just writers are going to be part of the new Marvel Knights line, but they literally don't say what book they're going to be working on, which characters are going to be involved, or who any of the fucking artists are. So we're getting a bunch of half-ass announcements where they're saying we're going to get a new so-and-so title by so-and-so, and they're only announcing the writer. So there's been a lot of backlash from a lot of the comic artists I follow online saying, hey, if you're going to announce a creative team, announce the whole team. Don't say so-and-so is writing a new comic, because if just the writer does it, all you're going to get is a script. There's probably going to be other people working on that book, and these companies should be announcing the creative team, not just a damn writer.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, the Marvel's focus on SDCC is, I put too many C's in that, but is much less than it has been. Remember, they don't do anything at the big panels anymore. It used to be Hall H would have a huge Marvel event. They moved all that stuff to D23, so they're kind of moving out to doing it in the wider Disney enclave of everything. So it doesn't shock me that we're not getting much Marvel news out of there. It doesn't shock me that the comic news is seemingly half-assed, because we talked about it in the pre-show. San Diego Comic-Con is more of the San Diego Media Convention, and let's talk about comic book movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think, Marvel's biggest presence was just the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. crew showed up, because a lot of people were excited to see, apparently, Clark Gregg and Mr. Hydra. Can't remember his name. The guy that plays Grant Ward.
The guy in Until Dawn.
Yeah. Supposedly they're both back in season 7. So
there's another season?
Yeah.
That's more unbelievable than anything else I've ever heard.
And that season doesn't start until after Infinity War Part 2 airs, so it'll be interesting.
I still need to catch up with the last season.
It's on Netflix now, so you can catch
up.
Oh, yeah,
I saw it was on there. I kind of stopped, and I think by the time I wanted to see more of it, it already went off Hulu where I stopped at, so I was like, oh, well, I'll just wait then.
All right, so we've got, what time is it? we're at 44 minutes into the show. We're going to run a little late today, I'm sure. But San Diego Comic-Con, one of the big things that comes out of that is a bunch of trailers for movies and TV shows. I'm on Vox.com where I have a breakdown and a showing of a lot of those. We're going to power through, and we're not necessarily going to talk about all of them, but we'll talk about a good chunk of the trailers that popped up.
Oh, we're going to talk about one in particular.
If we miss it for some reason, Willie, please let me know.
Will not. We will not miss this. I am like a giddy schoolgirl with this one.
So we're going to start first with movies. Aquaman. Did you guys see the Aquaman trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It did not look good.
Looked like fun to me.
Oh, bullshit.
The story just it was like, I don't care. Like, I really just don't care.
Dude, the story's going to be easy. It's a Fast and the Furious director. We're not going in it for an Oscar-worthy story. We're going in it to see Jason Momoa kick ass, Black Manta rock a giant fucking helmet, and huge sharks fighting giant alligators.
And people riding sharks like horses, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And giant underwater fights. And apparently they're ignoring the fact that in Justice League, they had to create an air bubble to talk, because we've already seen scenes of Jason Momoa talking to Amber Heard with their hair's moving in the water, and they're talking just fine. So
that's because they've already changed. It's no longer the DC expanded universe. It's like the world of DC officially now, or something like that. Neither here nor there. It does look like they took some lessons learned from the previous movies, and Aquaman looks like fun.
Yeah, it looks like fun. It does look. It looks like a little too like gold overlay. It looked like a little too much like gold plating on everything. Like, I don't know why, but it just looked a little too shiny in the trailer.
And let's bear in mind, though.
All right, let me say this then. It doesn't appease me personally. It just doesn't look like something I'd care about. How's that fair?
No, that's fair. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand why some people might not care about it. For me, as someone who enjoys a lot of comic book characters and comic book films, I looked at it and said, hey, this looks like fun. And I agree that it has some very golden tones to it. That being said, it's a trailer released early. The movie doesn't come out until December. There's a ton more CGI work they're going to do, so I'm sure it'll be refined as we move forward. So, Aquaman, definitely. I saw the trailer, and it did what it needed to do. I said, I kind of want to see this now. So, for me, trailer gets a thumbs up. I want to see the movie.
Yeah, I'd give it a thumbs up. I'm much more interested now than I was. And yeah, honestly, when he cracks the submarine and says permission to come aboard, I laughed out loud. Like, that was fucking hilarious. I was like, okay, he's just going to run around and kick people's asses. I'm down to see Jason Momoa do that as a superhero. So, yeah. He as Aquaman, he might be the most perfect casting DC's done so far. Like, he's fucking great. And Amber Heard looks hot because, well, Amber Heard always looks hot.
This is true. So, Willie, thumbs up, thumbs down, or don't care for Aquaman right now?
I would have to see more of it to give a full, like that little trailer.
So Willie is like thumb to the side right now.
My thumb's always on my side.
Hey. So that's how we're going to do these when we talk about a movie. At the end, we'll say thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatnot, whether we give a crap. So next up in the movies, one that they have here, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. I just don't care about these Wizarding World movies they're making. Hopefully it's
I didn't even watch the trailer.
Hopefully it's not as boring as the last one was. I went in, I was like, oh, it's going to be like Harry Potter. And I was like, this is boring. However,
It had no plot.
They do a better job in these movies of showing magic being magic than they do in the Harry Potter movies, because you have fully trained wizards that can do complicated spells. I'm interested.
That's true. They're not kids at school.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with it. The trailer doesn't make me care much. I still thumb to the side. I'll probably end up seeing it at some point in time, and then went
thumbs down. Didn't even watch it.
Well, okay, so thumbs down. Suncast said he saw the trailer when he saw Ant-Man, couldn't care less.
Yeah, I have to go thumbs down because I wasn't even interested enough to watch the trailer, and I kind of like the idea of Jude Law as a young Dumbledore, but I don't care enough. Like,
Fair enough. Next up in the movie trailers is Glass. This is the follow-up to Split, and then also ties in Unbreakable as well. I have not seen Split, but I saw this trailer and went, I should go see Split because this looks really cool.
Yeah, you should.
And James McAvoy is friggin' ripped in this trailer. I did not know how jacked he was.
Only as the Beast.
So is that CGI then when he's in Beast mode, or is that actually him, I wonder?
No, I'm just saying, no. He's only ripped when he's the Beast.
Yeah, they might pump him up a little in CGI. I'm not sure because he looks really trim in that movie, in Split, and then when he's the Beast, he looks a lot larger. So he might get a little Photoshop to make him look a little wider and thicker in muscle.
I've been waiting for this fucking movie ever since I saw Unbreakable way back when. That was one of the first DVDs I ever got owned.
So I'm in an interesting spot here because I really enjoyed Unbreakable. I think most of M. Night Shyamalan's other stuff is crap. I'll be honest. I think it relies too much on what a twist, tweak, and things like that. Sixth Sense was okay.
What about
Signs
The Visit?
was okay. Sorry?
The Visit?
Which one's that?
I mean, the handy cam at Grandma's house? I didn't make it to Grandma's house because of fucking handy cam.
Oh, get over yourself.
Yeah,
it was a
don't think
good
I
movie.
saw that one. I got turned
It's a
off
good
by
one.
I got turned off by a lot of M. Night Shyamalan stuff. That's why I didn't go and see Split. You guys were
You should
raving
try
about
The
it, and I
Visit.
went, okay, I'll pick. Sorry?
I wasn't too into The Visit. Before seeing it, I was like, this is actually really good.
Yeah, you should see Split, Chris. That my thing was I said it took him 14 years to make a good sequel, actually to make another good movie since Unbreakable. My problem is that, well, it's only been about 2 years now and we're getting Glass, so I don't know if it's been long enough for him to make another good movie.
And I guess I'm in the minority with this. I like Lady in the Water as well.
That movie was awful. He wrote himself in as the
that
Deus
movie.
Ex Machina.
I mean,
literally
if you
made
had that
himself
option,
the
wouldn't
answer
you?
to the story. No, I wouldn't, because I'm not a shitty writer.
My favorite character in that movie was the guy who was a scientist, only working out one side of his body. Yeah, I'm like a scientist.
So the Glass
hilarious.
trailer, it did its part and made me go, okay, I remember these guys talking about Split. This looks really cool. I want to see it, but I have my trepidation. I have my own concerns because most of M. Night Shyamalan's stuff I don't like. But right now, I'm a thumbs up. I will go see this movie based off the trailer. How about you guys?
I am like a giddy schoolgirl with this. I cannot wait. I want to see it. I want to see it. It looks like we're going to see David Dunn actually do some stuff instead of just get somebody in a rear naked choke. That's all he did in the first movie. I mean, or the Unbreakable. That's also lift heavy stuff. What was it 350 pounds?
Something like that. Yeah, lots of bench
it was
pressing for this
350.
kid.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's so
I'm
good.
thumbs up. Yeah, to see the David Dunn fight the Beast. Like,
Oh my God.
I'm in it just for that. And yeah, Chris, you should see Split simply because James McAvoy, it might be his best acting performance ever.
That's what a lot of people have said.
Yeah, he's a
First-
fantastic actor, but him playing all those different, because he literally is a character with split personalities, and there's like 14 of them, and he's fucking fantastic doing accents, doing different mannerisms. Like, he becomes different people in different clothes, and you like it's almost unrecognizable how good he is in this movie.
Wasn't the main woman that he portrayed, wasn't it her name Patricia? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was like the stern headmistress type character.
Yeah. That was bad.
Like he comes in looking like a really like stringent school marm. Like it's fucking crazy.
Dressed like it too.
Yeah. And then you had the little kid that was trying to warn the girls, who was the nice kid, who's like 6 years old.
First
Like, yeah.
name, Mr. Last name, Glass.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So let's go to the next one here because we've got to power through a bunch of these. I didn't watch this trailer. I don't know if you guys did. Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
I already saw the trailer. Looks all right.
I haven't seen it, so
I'm all
I
right.
can't
I like
give a
the first
rating.
one.
I don't know.
But I've also saw a little teaser trailer. I'm not sure if this was for that, but it was just like someone like on a radio comm. Was this wasn't it? Was it?
I think that was.
Was this the one where they showed Mothra?
No. This one I saw was just someone calling like, I'm trying to get in contact with Monarch, and
I don't
also
know.
just comes back like a bunch of destructions going on in the background, like we need help, blah, 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 and then it just kind of cuts out.
I can't
It
tell
is
you.
a
I
Monarch.
haven't watched any content on the new Godzilla.
Which is probably going to be like Godzilla versus King Kong.
They did say in this article on Vox, the description was the kaiju have arrived. The first trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters teases out all of our favorite Godzilla monsters in one epic fight. So it's entirely possible what you're describing could be that. I have no idea. So I can't rate it. It doesn't sound like any of us can rate it because we haven't seen the trailer yet. So we'll move on.
I'm watching it right now, and it starts with 11 from Stranger Things, so I'm in.
Okay. So we'll move on to the next
one.
one.
It'll be awesome.
We'll move on to the final movie trailer they have in this article. Shazam from DC Comics. Dude, this just looks like fun. This is the movie that like kid Chris would have loved to have gone and seen in a movie, and adult Chris wants to go and see it because it just reminds me of those kind of slightly corny superhero things I liked as a kid. And Zachary Levi looks like he's having the time of his life in this movie. I want to see it. It looks like fun.
Oh yeah, it does look like fun. Like I enjoyed it, but there's some parts of the trailer it looks like they took straight up from Mark Millar from Superior. Like namely the parts where they're like testing out his abilities.
Oh, that's entirely possible.
Like there's some like scenes right here where they're just like him and his best buddy. Like he tells that, oh yeah, I'm really I just became a superhero, and like they're testing out his abilities. It's straight up from almost this. It looks almost exactly like it.
I'm pretty sure they also did that in the new 52 when they relaunched Shazam. Because you also got to remember, Shazam's been relaunched like 19 times.
Oh, I believe it.
So yeah, it's been redone a bunch.
Yeah, like I was saying, it looks like a ton of fun. I'm a fan of Zachary Levi, so getting to see him be a superhero on screen that doesn't get killed off like that in Thor Ragnarok is very enjoyable to me. Solid thumbs up. And if you had asked me 3 months ago, would I have been a thumbs up on seeing this movie? I probably would not have been. I'm on board.
There's always been one good thing I had for the DCE. What was it called now? World of DC?
World of DC, I think is what they changed it to.
There's one good thing I've always said about it. I'm happy that they just embraced magic.
Yes.
Unlike Marvel. They just said, no, this shit's just straight up magic.
Well, I mean, until you get to Doctor Strange, and then they pretty much establish magic again.
Well, I mean, like in Thor, they were like, no, this is just science that you guys don't even know about.
Actually, I like that explanation.
I don't. Like, I'm sure I liked it at the time, but then now, like, just watching, like, Suicide Squad, the one guy, like, no, this shit's just fucking magic. That's all, there's no science to it. It's just
go and look
glitch.
at the characters in the MCU until you get to Doctor Strange. You don't really have much that's magic other than some of the potential Asgardian powers, which the way they portrayed Asgard as aliens versus mythical beings kind of makes sense more as science. So it works until you get to Doctor Strange, where they establish magic as something that is magic, and then it makes Doctor Strange a badass and one of the most interesting characters in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the Wizards.
Yeah, but you have to admit, like, when Suicide Squad, when they just like, I was like, all right, it's magic. I can just get behind this.
Right.
That's a-okay.
Right, and it worked in that regard too. I'll give them credit for that. So
you have to admit, like Thor, they tried to go away from that. Like, no, it's not magic.
They tried to get
We're not
away
saying
from the cosmic fantasy space powered whatevers they were, and basically like, they're aliens. And then they kind of undid that with Thor Ragnarok.
And what I really hated was in the second Thor when they gave him like a lifespan of what, 1,500 years or something like that.
Something like that. I don't remember.
It was like,
the
wow,
Asgardians lived 1,500 to 2,000 years or something.
I was like, oh god.
But I think they undid that in Infinity War because Thor talked about something like being over 1,000 years old, if I recall correctly. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. So guys, thumbs up, thumbs down. What for Shazam?
Oh yeah, thumbs up for sure.
Yeah, I'm saying, a huge thumbs up. I'm excited because it's literally like when they were talking about, like, oh, Superman can't be, hokey and, old school like he was, and then they made the first Captain America, and they're like, no, you can still do that with the character if it's done right. And that's exactly what I was hoping they would do with Shazam, where it needs to be the big red cheese.
Didn't Man of Steel come out after Captain America?
Well, yeah, but people had already talked about, like, you couldn't do that type of character anymore. And then Marvel proved, no, you can with the right script, right director. It can be done. Shazam is the big red cheese. He's the character that makes Superman look gritty, which it's the only character that should ever make Superman look gritty is Shazam, because it's a child in a god's body. Like, and Zachary Levi nailed it. He so perfectly encapsulates the character. He's walking around charging cell phones. Like, that's so ridiculous and stupid and funny all at the same time. Like, I'm super excited for this movie.
He
The
buys
problem
a six-pack
was,
of beer.
one of the problems was one of the guys had a Galaxy Note 7.
Is that the one the person plays?
I just came up with that.
Yeah, just the idea of him playing a character, and hopefully getting to do it for more than one movie and getting to be the main character, which, he was great as Vandal, for what he got to do for it, but yeah, in the third movie, it sucked that they just one-shotted him and killed him.
Well, they did most of the Warriors 3, though.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see a full movie of Zach Levi in the suit, flying around, and also knowing, like, this is a character that can bitch slap Superman. Like, it's going to be so cool to see what they do with him going forward.
Yes, and this is a world that Superman does exist in because they made a point of showing the Superman clippings, a Batarang on display in Billy Batson's room, things like that. So we're all thumbs up on that one. Let's go to the TV ones, and we're going to fly through them and not do as much analysis on some of these. Starting up first, this one surprised the hell out of me. Star Wars The Clone Wars is getting its final season.
I need more thumbs.
Yeah, I need more thumbs. Willie, did you watch the Clone Wars cartoon?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so for those that don't know, real quick, what this is the show got canceled when the acquisition happened. There was supposed to be a final season that was the Battle of Mandalore. that was supposed to be Anakin and Obi-Wan meeting up with
Aren't
Ahsoka
the
again. And
Mandalorians, isn't that what Jango Fett was? And the
Yes,
Fett,
he was a
Django and
Mandalorian.
Boba, yeah, they're Mandos.
So
but
this
they
is
just look like humans, right?
yes, this is the liberation of Mandalore after Darth Maul took it over in the previous season of Star Wars Clone Wars. So this is stuff that got hinted at in some books they've put out in some comics, and now it is the same team headed by Dave Filoni is coming back to finish the story. I'm totally on
the
board.
most important part.
My only reservation is it's only going to be available on the Disney streaming service, and there's a part of me it's like I don't want to subscribe just for
Wait,
this. I'm
really?
like, yeah.
It's not even going to be on
course it
TV.
is.
So this isn't TV
This is
trailer. This
not
is
on-
a streaming service trailer.
This yes. So it's a TV show on a streaming service, but
I'm just
Yes.
kidding.
for me it's a thumbs up. For Anthony it's a thumbs up, and I think for Willie you don't care.
It's sideways. So I'm not a Star Wars guy, so you can't take my advice for me anyway. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, the fact that it's Dave Filoni, that's all that matters.
Next up, Star Trek Discovery Season 2, bringing in Anson Mount as Captain Christopher Pike to take over the Discovery, and we get an appearance of the Enterprise. I won't watch Discovery because it's on CBS All Access, and there's nothing else I care about on there. So for me, thumbs down. The show actually looks pretty cool, I'll be honest, but I'm not picking up a streaming service just for one program. The trade-off with the Disney one is I know there's other crap I want to watch on it.
Yeah.
I'm
guys
also
have-
not a Star Trek guy either.
Okay. Anthony, any
Yeah.
thoughts on Discovery?
Thumbs down. Yeah, I like Anson Mount. Good for him for getting a job. I wouldn't mind watching it because it's got one of my favorites. It's got Doug Jones,
Yes.
who's awesome. But yeah, I'm not buying that streaming service to watch one show. That's
Okay, next up, Arrow Season 7. The trailer shows Stephen Amell in jail, and he fights naked in a shower. So the ladies will love it.
yeah. And just the idea that like even in the trailer
Wait.
they already show Cody
Wait.
Rhodes to Michael Jai White. Like he's in the same jail with all the people he put in jail. So it's like all those old cop movies and cop TV shows where the cop gets put in with the people that he busted.
Judge
I'm
Dredd.
so excited to watch. Yeah, it's like Judge Dredd. I'm so excited to see this. Like, unlike Chris, I still love Arrow because it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous, and I'm super excited. Plus, there's now another mystery archer because, of course, you can't go 6 months without a mystery archer showing up in Star City.
It's Roy. It's Roy Hart.
Now you're saying he's naked fighting in a shower. Is this like Eastern Promises nude scene?
From
This is not going to be quite Eastern
Where you
Promises.
see
You're
a
not going to get
flopping
dingling.
all around?
You're not going to see that, but he gets in a fight nude in the shower, so I'm sure the ladies will love that. For me, the Arrow trailer actually looks pretty good, and I've been pretty negative on Arrow lately. So, yeah, I'm surprised with how much it looks like I'm going to enjoy it. Anthony seems like a thumbs up, and Willie, you
Oh, it's gonna
probably
be
don't
fun.
care.
You're about to take my arrow of justice.
All right, so next one up on this list, Better Call Saul Season 4. I love Bob Odenkirk. I love Better Call Saul. Totally on board. Thumbs up. Did you guys watch
Yeah,
this one?
Thumbs down. I've still not seen any of Better Call Saul yet, so.
Oh, you're fired.
Yeah, me either.
You both are fired. Okay.
You still haven't watched The Fifth Element. Don't give a shit about Better Call Saul.
Better Call
We
Saul is
talked
more of a
about it
time
this week.
investment.
We talked about playing Overwatch.
That is true. Next up on this list is Black Lightning. I didn't see the trailer and I haven't watched the show yet, so I have no opinion. So it's an incomplete for me because I just don't know anything about it.
Thumbs up. Black Knight is great. I can't wait for the next season. The show it's utterly ridiculous and fantastic. The fact that the daughters are running around kicking ass by the end of the first season, like it'll be another fun season. That show's great.
Fair enough. Willie, do you have any thoughts on Black Lightning? He's on mute.
Should have
Billy,
been
you're muted.
Static Shock.
Should have been Static Shock. Yeah, I still agree with that. That would have been awesome.
Oh,
So
we're getting Static Shock if Chris gets to that trailer.
we'll get to that in a second.
Whoa,
We're going to
what?
have to fly. Next up, Doctor Who. Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor.
I don't
Looks
fucking care. Let's
interesting
get
to me.
Static Shock.
I don't
Okay,
watch.
shut up, Willie.
I haven't watched Doctor Who much,
Me
but
either.
they did say this is a
At
good
all.
jumping on point. So I'm going to try it out because Jodie Whittaker seems delightful as the Doctor. Thumbs up.
Yeah, she looks like she's having fun. I give it a thumbs up.
She was
Looks like it'll be
all over
another fun
Comic Con
Doctor.
too. All over Comic Con. So
Yeah,
good
Wait,
for her.
If you're about to say Static Shock as a part of the trailer that I only saw half of, I'm not gonna be so happy.
We haven't gotten to the trailer where that's going to be referenced. Next
It's
up,
probably
Marvel's,
not the one you thought of.
next up, Marvel's Iron Fist debuts September 7th. I don't care.
Did they have a trailer?
Yeah, they dropped a trailer.
I didn't see the trailer.
I
How
haven't
does
seen
his
that one
fighting look in it? Oh, okay, I was about to say because you said it looked better in
Yeah,
Luke Cage,
his
which it
fighting
did.
looked better in Defenders, and it looked much better in Luke Cage for the one episode. So I'm holding out hopes that Finn Jones has been in the dojo and in the gym and learning to make fight choreography look better. So
I guess I'm the one defender of Iron Fist, at least the first half of the season, when it's like still like, is he Danny Rand? Like I wouldn't. Oh, of course he was. I mean, I like that whole first half when he had to take on his like the two friends or something. The two owners of the company. I like that.
I always said Iron Fist's only problem was that it's Marvel's own success was the problem. Iron Fist was a solid C, but because Daredevil gave us 2 A+, that C felt really, really bad.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I can see that being the case. I don't care much on that one because there's other stuff I'd rather watch, so it didn't bubble up for me. And since I haven't seen any of the other stuff, I'm gonna
just like Luke Cage, the first season, the first half of Luke Cage, season 1 is only good to have.
The second season, Luke Cage is fantastic. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for a second season of Iron Fist just because, Finn Jones was smart. He didn't respond to anything on social media about how bad the fighting was in the first season. He literally just got in the gym and made himself better as an actor and an on-screen fighter, which is the smart thing to do. There was nothing he could tell the audience that was going to make any difference, and he went and fixed the problem. As an actor, you can't expect anything more than that, and he didn't write season 1, so you can't hold the story against him.
No.
He can only do what he's given as an actor, and he has improved through Defenders and through Luke Cage. So I can't be mad at him as an actor. He's done everything within his power that I can tell to make himself better as the character, which, that's great. I'm excited to see him come back with more Iron Fist. I'm thinking season 2 will be a lot better than season 1. Do we know if Scott Buck's running it?
I have no idea.
That might be the only scary thing.
I'll check. We're also talking about Luke Cage.
I'll check that while you go on to the next one, Chris.
Fair enough.
Bushmaster is a step below Kingpin as being the best Netflix show villains.
Interesting. So next up, The Gifted season 2. That's the Fox Mutant show. I haven't watched season 1, and I didn't watch the trailer, so I can't rank it. Do you guys care? Have you watched any of it?
I watched part of that first episode of season 1, and I was like, no, thank you.
Oh, y'all are missing out.
Maybe I'm stuck with it, but I was like, not catching me.
The only reason that The Gifted hasn't been talked about so much is because Legion is so amazing, and the writing on that is outstanding. The Gifted is take all the best scenes from the X-Men films that Fox has done and turn that into a TV show. Literally, if you get into it, it is a fantastic show. They do great with the powers. They do great with bringing the mutants to life and bringing them in the world. Like, you get Blink, you get Warpath, you get Polaris, you get the freaking Cuckoos. Like, they do a fantastic job on that show. And yeah, I saw the trailer for season 2. I am super excited because at the end of season 1, they do like a breakup of 2 characters that is vitally important to the story going forward. And like, it is going to be a fantastic new season because Polaris is pregnant at the end of season 1, and so she's having a kid in season 2, and like, it shows like citywide power outages because her magnetic powers are going crazy because she's going through contractions and shit.
I was gonna ask what, like, the character was pregnant or the actress?
No, the character is pregnant. And so and it's a good part of the storyline. But yeah, it is a fantastic show. Honestly, I mean, it takes a little time to ramp up just because I don't think they really knew what the show was going to be when they first started it, because it had kind of a Heroes vibe at first, and I was like, this is a bit much. But then, when they actually get to like the Mutant Underground Resistance and you meet all the main characters, it's a fantastically well written show. It's really good, and the special effects on that show are insane. The only reason Fox hasn't really gone nuts on it is just because Legion's so good that people kind of skipped out on The Gifted. But it's a really damn good show. I'm super excited.
So here are our lone thumbs up, and Willie and I can't really rank it. So moving on, The Walking Dead 9th season. I quit on the show 3 seasons ago.
The walking boredom, you mean?
Tell us how you really feel, Willie.
Yeah, the walking boredom.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm done with The Walking Dead right now. The show got boring and contrived and played too much on shock value, and I quit.
Have you read the comic?
I've read the comic, and the comic is vastly superior to what I was getting on TV.
That's true. The comic is much better. And from what I'm understanding, characters are dying off now because actors are ready to leave, and those characters are still alive in the comics, which is just fucked up. Because now they've basically just given up trying to follow the comics at all, and the comics are 5 years ahead of the show and are still fantastic. Michonne found her daughter. Spoiler alert.
Well, they're really hosed because Andrew Lincoln did confirm at Comic-Con he's done after this season. Yeah. Lauren Cohen's probably gone because they don't want to pay her.
And they already killed Coral.
And they killed Coral. So I don't know where they're going to go from here.
They killed Coral.
I'll give it
the best meme I've ever seen.
I'll give it a very slight thumbs up because every time it shows up on Netflix, I watch the whole season through in a weekend and I'll just keep doing that as long as it continues being a show.
Okay, that's fair. So next up is another one that's exclusive to a streaming channel. This is on the DC Universe channel. It is the Titans TV show. Fuck Batman, guys. Fuck Batman.
Fuck Titans.
Oh, you took my line, you son of a bitch.
Fuck Titans.
You even said it poorly. Fuck Batman.
Guys, so the internet's criticizing people who are negative on this one. I don't give a fuck, because here's what I'm going to say. I've seen fan films on YouTube that have better special effects and costumes than what I saw in this trailer.
In fairness, also, like you said with Aquaman 1, this is the first trailer.
This is supposed to be dropped. They're done filming, I think, though.
I'm saying we don't know what it's going to look like when it comes out. Just like when people flipped out about Starfire's first costume because they're going to a 70s disco party.
Let's also keep in mind that Starfire's power is starbolts, not fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's good, but I think they're trying too hard to be like, we're dark and gritty, rah, 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 fuck Batman. And I was like, this isn't what I want to see. The people that do want to see it, I hope they love it. I hope they enjoy it. This did nothing to make me be like, oh, I've got to pick up the DC Universe subscription. So thumbs down for me. I don't care. I hope it's good. I hope it comes out and I hear, oh, it's a great show. And I go, okay, maybe I'll check this out, because it looks like it's Dick Grayson centric and towards him becoming Nightwing. And I think that could be a great story. I just don't care.
Yeah, I only saw half of this trailer because I saw Fuck Batman. I was like, oh, I don't.
Willie's like, I'm out.
So that's a thumbs down from Willie?
Yeah, but I do have a question, though. Like, Robin, he has to, like, most of his downtime, he has to be making those little Robin throwing stars. Because look how detailed those things are, and he has to make a lot of them, right?
No, Alfred made like 10,000 each for Alfred.
He doesn't have Alfred.
Maybe they have molds. And
he
they just
brought
pour
those
liquid
with him.
They just pour liquid metal into a mold. Maybe it's simpler. I don't know.
Then you have to sharpen it, and you have to detail it. It's not like you just pour this in a mold and it comes out like that.
No, Alfred made 10,000 batarangs and 10,000 little spiky R's for each of them, and Dick took his with him when he left.
Good old Dicker.
That could be. Yeah. Next show up, I will not be watching because it's on Sci-Fi Channel. It's Night Flyers. It is a, quote, spooky space story from the mind of George R.R. Martin. So, I'm out.
George Railroad Martin.
Don't care. I'm out.
Yeah, I don't care on
Sci-Fi Channel with a show. I'm not watching it because they've proven they won't keep anything that's good.
Willie has I haven't seen it, so I can't say whether I would like it or not. I'm interested in seeing something of it.
I have.
Just like.
Okay, so 2 more trailers and we're done with this segment. We'll wrap things up real quick. This is the one that I've been waiting to talk about, which might actually make me subscribe to a streaming service. Young Justice Outsiders. The 3rd season of Young Justice that I've been clamoring for what, 5 years now? Something like that. This has Static Shock in it, Willie.
I want live action Static Shock, goddammit.
Well,
too bad.
Beggars can't be choosers, Willie.
I'm not begging for
We're
it.
all
I just
begging.
want it.
We're all begging.
You're begging. I don't care about Young Justice. I've never seen an episode of it.
Oh, you're missing out. You should go watch it. If you
I hear it's good. I'll give you that.
It's very good. They've told an interesting story, and this is the 3rd season that they left set up very well at the end of season 2 and got abruptly canceled. This might actually make me subscribe to the DC Universe for a month, binge watch it, and then cancel the subscription. So thumbs up for me on Young Justice.
What are they going to have on the subscription service that's just for DC?
Oh, they announced like 6 shows. There's like Swamp Thing, there's Young Justice.
There's
but
Titans, 6 shows makes not a streaming service.
Yeah, but also
Willie, everything Warner Brothers owns.
Yeah, so
that's fair.
Original Flash, they have comic books that are on there, and you can watch as motion comics on TV.
Okay.
And you can also download them to tablets. It's an interesting service. It's just, in today's world where there's already too many services out there, you've really got to do something to make me be like, I have to get this. And
it's the first one that's mixing comics and movies and TV all in one service.
Yes.
All right. I mean, you're making sense.
Yeah. Outsiders, I give it a thumbs up because it's the dark and gritty little bit while still telling a good story. It's everything that the Titans live action show should be and isn't.
Yeah, fair point.
Like, this is how you do it right. And this is how you do it fucking because the only Batman you know is Nolan.
Fair
and
point.
so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And one last trailer, which is not in this article, but it did drop yesterday, and I know Suncast probably wants me to bring it up, and I want to bring it up too. The trailer for season 2 of The Orville, which does not debut until December because of Thursday Night Football on Fox. It looks delightful. If you wanted more Star Trek The Next Generation with some touches of comedy tossed in there, that's what The Orville is. And I loved The Orville last season. I thought it was a great show. I can't wait to see where they go with it this season. It looks like fun. It is the show I was most excited about at the end of last season, with the exception of Good Place.
Wow.
But Good Place was a returning show, and this was the only new show I really loved last season.
Yeah, I've never seen any of it, but I also hear good things about that as well.
It is on Hulu right now if you want to watch it.
Yeah, on Chris's recommendation, I watched all of season 1 on Hulu. It is a fantastic show. Yeah, it is. It is literally just Star Trek with humor. Like, what would people actually say in those situations if they were sarcastic bastards like us?
Doesn't Star Trek have humor?
No, not really. not Star Trek doesn't have humor the way we would actually react to those situations. And that's what Seth MacFarlane writes into the show, and it's great. I haven't seen the new trailer, but I'll already give it a thumbs up because I know there's more Ralph Garman in season 2 as the bartender.
And Seth MacFarlane did say he didn't quite understand the original marketing as trying to market it as a straight-up comedy, because that's never what it was, but that Fox is on board with what the show is now for season 2. So fingers crossed that season 2 does well. Fingers crossed they get a third season, because then maybe Stargate Pioneer will watch it, because he's adopted a new policy with Fox. Unless it has 3 seasons, he will not watch it.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yes.
There was one more trailer that I saw that I want to nail real quick because you didn't cover it. Supergirl season 4.
Oh, yeah.
They showed the trailer for that. I'm super stoked because Supergirl has been fantastic. They've added in the Legion. They got Guardian running around, all sorts of shit. And then in this trailer, we get a Kryptonian female armor, but it doesn't actually show who's in it. So people are wondering, is it Supergirl in new armor, or is it actually Lena Luthor in a female version of the Lex Luthor Superman suit that they just did in the comics? And so the fact that it could be either one of those, I was already going to watch it. Now I'm like double thumbs up. I'm super excited to see who's in that armor because that show's just fun as hell.
Yeah, also the Legends Tomorrow trailer was really good too. I forgot to mention that one.
I watched the
Legends trailer too? I haven't seen that yet.
Still
I got more trailers to go watch.
Episode of Supergirl.
Oh, Supergirl.
The first episode.
Great.
I mean, I'm sure it probably got better, but the whole thing was like, I'm doing this and I'm a girl. Haha, yes.
Yeah, that was
Just
the focus for like the first.
Be a female.
That was the focus for like the first 3 episodes. They kind of hammered that home, and then the show really found out. It basically between episode 1 and 6, it became a different show.
And let's go back to the that DC streaming service. There's one reason I might want to subscribe to it for a month, just so I can see the best dendrophilia scene ever in Swamp Thing movies. Dendrophilia is the people who have sex with trees.
Yeah.
First Swamp Thing done by Wes Craven. Classic.
Oh, that's right. It was done by Wes Craven.
Oh, and I did look it up. Episode 2.1 of Iron Fist is showing up as written by Scott Buck. So I don't know if he's still the showrunner, but he's still involved. So I'm going to say this. Scott Buck, this is your last chance. 3 strikes and you're out, motherfucker.
He did a good first half of the season.
But yeah, he also did Humans. So.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's strike 4, 5, and 6 right there.
He was showrunner on Iron Fist season 1 and in Humans season 1. So this will be 3rd strike you're out, motherfucker, if you get Iron Fist season 2 wrong.
No, he's already out after that one. That's already that's 7 innings of outs.
Most of that was business decisions that I don't think he was allowed to make changes on. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll watch the next season of Iron Fist, but after this, I might be done with Scott Buck if he can't get this shit right. Because Finn Jones has been working. We know Finn Jones has been working.
I'm gonna say I'm not sure if I can blame him for Inhumans because I mean they were rushed to do that shit, weren't they?
So they were forced to do an IMAX movie for the pilot and had to figure out a way to save money, and so they removed the superpower of one of the main characters because it was the only way to save enough money to get it done on time. That type of when a financial constraint changes your storyline, like that's just shitty for everybody involved.
So, Chris, what's next?
That is all I had for any of these trailers. We've gone way over on time. So what we're going to do is ask real quick, Willie, let us know what else is going on in the network, because we are part of the Gonna Geek Network, and each week we try to highlight some of the other going-ons in the network, other shows, and Willie, you always let us know what's going on. So, Willie, fill all the listeners in.
Well, I was trying to think if should I do this with an accent or anything, and I wasn't sure. So I'm just going to do this as the best Willie I can. Or, I could do it a Mickey Mouse.
God damn it, I was hoping you wouldn't think about that.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just gonna do it in pure Willie.
Pure,
You guys are gonna get the
unadulterated
pure,
Willie.
unadulterated, thick Willie. You guys, it's free Willie. Yeah, fuck you. That's the name of the goddamn episode. You piece of shit. Shut up, Chris. It's not back to you yet. This week, part of the Gonna Geek Network is On the Bubble podcast. This week's episode, Sleepy Hollow. The campaign to save Fox's Sleepy Hollow. Plus, Save a Lucifer preview. Josh shares some of his thoughts and feelings from Sleepy Hollow fans about where the show went wrong in Season 2 and how it eventually redeemed itself with a strong Season 3 and 4. Some fan quotes include, Sleepy Hollow is a smart, well-written, and acted show that is entertaining, exciting, and emotionally affecting. Sleepy Hollow is a great show with a cast that has great chemistry. Reverting back to what worked in Season 1. We'll bring the fans back. The last episodes and upcoming ones prove that. Unquote. Back to you, Chris.
Why, thank you, Willie.
I should have pre-read that.
Yeah, you might, it's okay. Stuff happens. So go check out On the Bubble podcast and all the other shows on our network by heading over to GonnaGeekNetwork.com. On the Bubble podcast is one of our newest shows, and it is kind of different from everything else we've had here. So I greatly enjoy it.
So what you're saying is Gonna Geek Network has a variety of shows that might interest you at some point or another.
You are,
but every single one of the listeners of the Gonna Geek Network would love our show because we are the best.
We're certainly something special. Let's put it that way.
Because this one is the only one that has Willie every week.
We're certainly something special. And looking at the time now, it is time for us to start wrapping things up. We do that with a little bit called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with the folks who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out as well. We are super time crunched, so this is going to be the quick edition of What I'm Into. I'll go first. I'm sorry?
You think that?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. It's 12:35 right now. We've gone a little bit over for good reason. We talked about some interesting stuff. Things I've been getting into. It was Geek Trivia Night on Wednesday night, so typical team trivia stuff, but it was all geek and nerd trivia. It was a lot of fun. Then yesterday, I went out and played Pokemon Go with a bunch of folks because it was Zapdos raid day. Went to one of the big parks, and there were probably about 40 people that were there. And then we all split in little groups and just hit gym raids all day, capturing Zapdoses. It was a lot of fun. I've got 5 I caught, one of which was shiny, which is not as much as other people I know that caught like 20 yesterday, but I was not driving to that many gyms. I caught one and I was happy with it. Anything else was just gravy. I'm kind of back in on playing Pokemon Go again. I'm enjoying these community events. I've had a lot of fun with it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So that's what I've been getting into aside from all the regular crap of watching dumb stuff on TV, podcasting, and things like that. Anthony, how about you? What have you been getting into?
I've been getting into rocking third place in the Fantasy Movie League because apparently I just can't get up above that, but I'm looking at third again for the week. And then, of course, being stressed out and staring at my Kickstarter and hitting the refresh button over and over again because I'm exactly $2 away from halfway to funded with 13 days to go. So right in the middle, we're at almost exactly 50%. And damn it, I just want it funded so it's done and I don't have to worry about it anymore. But it's stressing me out because it's halfway and it's half funded. And damn it. So yeah, I appreciate all the retweets and everybody sharing it and the people that have backed it so far. But yeah, if you know anybody else that you think might be interested, share the link with them, send them a tweet, point it out to them on Facebook. Just you're with the halfway point and halfway funded or $2 below halfway funded. So real damn close to 50%. So hopefully we'll crack that $800 goal before 2 Sundays from now. That's the goal. And if we don't pass that goal, no money gets collected. If we do pass the 800, that money will be collected that day. So you won't be charged until August 5th. So if you can have the money in your account by then, you can pledge whenever you want. Like Willie, who's waiting and holding out, being a turd.
Ethically last.
I see how it is.
That's what I've been getting into.
I have a good reason for it.
Because you want to be last?
No, because people are assholes.
That's a good reason.
Okay.
People are assholes.
Fair point. Willie, wrap it up for us. What have you been getting into, sir?
Well, last night I went to, God, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, Paranormal Cirque. It's like Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, it's like that, but it's an Italian word for it. I went to the show. It's in the chat, the link for it. If it comes near you, you should go see it. It was an excellent show where they just did all sorts of awesome things. It's like circus, but with a lot more, what's the right word? Like more horror vibe to it. Burlesque thrown in there. Very good show.
So
definitely go see
real
it.
quick, their tour dates, they're still headed to Greensboro, North Carolina, Frederick, Maryland, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Bensalem, Pennsylvania.
I went to go see him in Winston-Salem last night.
Yep.
And other than that, I've been seeing a lot of things. I went to go see Skyscraper. I was pleasantly surprised by that. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And this is actually the first movie where, you know how most movie theaters, they have like those 3 front row seats, and then it starts in the stadium seating.
Yes.
Well, I decided to sit in the back of those front 3 rows because this theater has recliner seats. So I got the recline, and I'm already reclining, so I'm looking up anyway, so I can just relax and just look up. It was perfect. It was awesome. I just got to sit there, and the screen looked a lot bigger than if you're sitting somewhere midway. Oh, it was so much better. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Other things I've been watching, there are a couple of fan-made things on YouTube. First thing I want to mention is Never Hike Alone. It's a fan-made Friday the 13th film. It's about 54 minutes long. Bachman, you would probably like it.
Nice.
It's called Never Hike Alone, and even Kane Hodder even gave it a thumbs up. He approved.
Oh, nice.
It.
It's got an actual Jason in it, killing people?
No, he's not in it. It's not Kane Hodder. He saw it.
No, but I said Jason, not Kane.
Oh, yeah, just making sure I can see that going. Yeah.
So a guy in a hockey mask.
Yeah, fans of it have nicknamed him Ghost Jason. I'm not saying he's a ghost. So that's just what they nickname him. I guess it kind of makes sense when you watch it.
Okay.
And then also, someone has made a fan-made thing for Uncharted, and they put it out.
Oh,
yes.
Now, who is the one person the fans have been wanting to play Nathan Drake? What was the one actor?
Tom Holland.
No. Shut the fuck up, you.
Well, he's the one that got the contract from the official studio, so I'm assuming that's who fans want.
Nathan Fillion, and he stars in this Uncharted.
Captain Hammer.
Yep. And because he looks like Nathan Drake, kind of sounds like him, and he has the humor, same type of humor, delivery. And yeah, it was awesome. They even have what's that guy's? What's the actor's name from Avatar? Who's the bad guy? He's also in Terra Nova.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah.
Lang.
He plays Sully.
That's
goddamn Sully.
That's not the important part, though. The important part is that fucking Ernie Reyes Jr. is in it.
Oh yes, he is.
And Ernie Reyes Jr. is fucking awesome.
Yeah, this one's only about 14 minutes long, so it's a lot more manageable, but it is also very good. Oh my god, watch that. Just look up Uncharted fan made, and it'll probably say Nathan Fillion in it, and oh my god, it is good. There are some questionable dialogue, but mostly it's like, okay, this is very good. Yeah. If you don't remember, about a while back, like during Uncharted 2, they were talking about making an Uncharted movie, and you remember who they were going to get the star in that abomination?
No.
Mark Wahlberg.
Ugh.
And it was going to be like a family film where Nathan Drake is a family man. I'm like, this makes no fucking sense. How are you going to take Uncharted series and make it something like that stupid shit? God, it's just wrong. Fuck people. But now they're getting Tom Holland, which I like Tom Holland, but he is no fucking Nathan Drake.
He's Nathan Drake Jr.
Yeah, if they get him to play like a young Nathan Drake in a flashback, yeah, I'm all for it. But get Nathan Fillion. That's who you need. That's who the fans want.
They're going to do Tom Holland in the Uncharted the way they did the new Tomb Raider, where it's going to be like the start of his career.
Now, I never saw the Tomb Raider movie, but all I heard was it was pretty much you watching the cutscenes, and that's the whole movie.
I heard the same. I haven't seen it yet either.
Yeah, it's like shot-for-shot cutscenes.
I never played the game, so I wouldn't know, but the movie actually was pretty good.
I played most of that first game, the reboot game that Square Enix took over.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Oh yeah, it was very good. But I heard that I do still want to see the Tomb Raider movie, but I just heard that's just what I heard about it. Still curious about it. Other than that,
Alicia Vanderkamp, she's good.
Other than that, been playing a lot. Still playing Overwatch a whole lot. Got really hardcore back into it. Bachman, I hope we're getting you to silver at least. We're gonna get you there.
Maybe I might
God
just
damn
play
it.
Prototype on my PS3 today.
That's more than fair, but we're gonna get you to silver at some point in time, at the very least, and I hope to get the platinum. And I want to give a shout out. I didn't know he was a listener, but someone I used to play with a long time. He just joined in one of my groups randomly. Mr. Orange, thank you for being an awesome Junkrat.
Yeah,
Was that the dude we were playing with last weekend?
I don't think so. No. I just started playing with him like 2 days ago.
Okay.
He just popped in. The guy, Snowboard Epic. I think it's the guy we played with who's also.
Oh
a
yeah,
listener.
snowboarder. Yeah.
Yep.
That dude was cool.
Yeah, he's a listener too. He listened because I mentioned it to him while playing with him. They was like, "Hey, do you listen to podcasts? Well, then I might have one for you."
Well, thank you for listening then, and a big thank you to everyone that did join us today for this extended edition.
Hold on a second, Chris. I want you to appreciate that when I join with new people, I do ask them, "Do you listen to the podcast?"
I do appreciate that. I also appreciate you killing my segue to wrap the show.
I'll do that every damn time you want me to.
So thank you to Willie for bringing in some new listeners via his Overwatch playing, and thank you to everyone who did join us live for this extended edition of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Because anytime San Diego Comic-Con happens, we can never hit that 60 to 75 minute mark. Right now we're at 90 minutes, so this is the extended edition. I'll probably trim it down a little bit in the editing bay, but not much. Before we shut this thing down, you guys have any final thoughts for us?
Free Willy, MediaCon edition. Willie's funnier when he's muted.
He's still muted.
See? Yeah, it works.
All right, then.
Let's get out of here, Chris. I gotta go watch a Never Hike Alone, a Friday the 13th fan film.
Ooh, so we are going to shut things down while Willie tries to get his microphone working again and failing spectacularly. Bye, guys. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.